watching it with my older son, and Chris Rock comes out, and my first thought to myself as he's starting to make his jokes with Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz, that they're both up for an Oscar. he can't win the Oscar if his wife loses it. Like, that's kind of a funny sort of husband-wife joke right there, And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this is the sort of hosting that I kind of miss from this show. And then he makes a joke in the direction of Jada Smith, and as we all know, it was an awful joke, just terrible. And I think it was ad-libbed, if I had to guess. Like, he saw her.
Yeah, definitely not.
And as we all know, she's battling with alopecia.
Well,
so she's
no, we all don't know that.
Well,
That's the thing.
okay.
We know now. We didn't know that going in. So let's just.
Bottom line is, okay, it is well known for a bunch of people, and he takes a shot at her saying that G.I. Jane 2, looking forward to that, and that's a G.I. Jane film is Demi Moore with her head shaved, and Will Smith laughs at the joke, and then we see his wife rolling her eyes, and then the next thing, Will Smith is walking up to the stage and slaps Chris Rock, and you heard a noise, and I thought to myself, was that just part of the gag? That's just a gag, right? As Will Smith goes back to his seat, and then anybody who works in live television knows when a live broadcast dumps out, is the phrase that's used in our business, where the live broadcast has a 5-second delay in case there's a bad word that's said. So if you're ever watching a sporting event and all of a sudden the sound goes out, it's because somebody's heard a curse word and they dump out of the sound. But I've never seen dumping out of the sound and the video.
They do both for the Academy Awards, Rich.
Well,
they do a video. I mean,
Mike,
obviously now.
Yeah, I get it.
They definitely
what I'm saying is I've rarely seen this happen. And so when you lose the sound and then the pictures start getting funky, and then one of the shots that you see is Will Smith mouthing the words, and as a sportscaster, you've got to be a professional lip reader, mouthing the words, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth," and then it cuts out as he's saying mouth, and then all of a sudden they take Chris Rock, who's now looking off to the side, saying, well, that's the greatest night in the history of television. And I sit there and I'm like, Zan's like, what happened? And I'm like,
I don't know.
I think Will Smith hit Chris Rock.
that was my reaction.
I think he hit him. Why, Dad? And I'm like, well, he made a joke. And now I got to explain all this stuff, which is the least of anyone's problems. But it's wild. And I just hit Twitter like, what just happened? Will Smith hit Chris Rock on international live television, because what Twitter remarkably can do is people turned around the Australian feed that didn't dump out of anything and the Japanese feed that didn't dump out of anything.
That's the one I got.
And Will Smith sits back down and screams at Chris Rock, keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth. And he's like, wow, like,
So let's get into this a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just come to the room, go ahead and just get all of the preliminaries out the way. Hit that like button. So earlier I had a part one. I had a live panel. I was breaking down the whole Will Smith and Chris Rock incident. And there was a lot of good feedback, a lot of good points of views. And then as the day persisted, of course, I got more information. And I see this situation very interesting. I really wanted to find out. Ricky, man, I'm going to pull you up here, brother, if you got time. Rodney, if you got time, feel free to pull up too. White people and black people see this entire Chris Rock, Will Smith situation differently. Like, I listened to the Ben Shapiro, I listened to this other gentleman. Like, I just wanted to see the difference in how white people viewed it and black people viewed it. And a lot of black people was like, hey, he did it for her honor. He's standing up for black women. He did it out of respect and loyalty. And white people was like, hey, I'm disgusted. I'm appalled. I don't believe a man would act in this type of manner. And I wanted to find out how many other people were still on the fence. How many other people had a change of heart? So I wanted to come back and do this live broadcast for you guys so you can kind of hear for yourself. I'm going to play about 2 or 3 more minutes of this, and I might flip over to Ben Shapiro real quick so that way you can kind of hear their tone and how they're speaking. Nobody was saying that Will Smith was a hero. Nobody was saying that, he was a man for doing this. And I noticed that there were a lot of content creators who were applauding his actions and that were black, versus the white people who are saying that this was appalling and he should be banned from the Oscars. So I wanted to get you guys' point of view and what you guys are thinking about it. So I'm gonna play a little bit more of this, and I'm actually gonna put it on the screen so you can see it, so you can kind of see the energy of this particular gentleman and what he's actually saying. Here we go. Let me change this up a little bit.
Will Smith just slapped the S out of me, and he's saying, it was a joke.
And then Chris Rock was like,
here's the ultimate. Everyone's going to have an opinion on it. Here's mine. Okay?
Well, it's your show.
Thank you. Here's mine. Here's mine. Awful joke. Terrible joke. Rude joke. Beyond the pale. Just falls flat. I don't know what's funny about it. Certainly, since most people know, he might not have known about her condition. Will Smith laughs at it and might have had one of those moments where, my wife's not terribly happy about it. But for him to sit there in the front row auditorium of an Oscars auditorium and feel, comfortable enough to step up and hit him and sit back down is beyond the pale. And I take the point of view from stand-up comics. And stand-up comedy. I'm a former one, from back in my day. I love comedy. I love stand-up comics. Stand-up comics, to be good and successful, and for you to go and put money down and enjoy it, you've got to take risks. You have to be risky. And despite how terrible that joke is, you can't go up and hit a comic in the face, slap him. I mean, what if you're going to a comedy club, if you're a stand-up comic right now, you're sitting there thinking, when I go to a comedy club the next time, is somebody just going to step up and hit me because they don't like my joke or they think I'm, you're heckling me?
This energy is way off, y'all. The energy is, hit that like button and let's get into this conversation. The energy is way off. This man is not saying it was for honor. This man is not saying that he is doing this for pride, for loyalty, for integrity. He's saying this is appalling. Now here my man Mike Tank says, I actually seen a lot of black people talking mess about Will Smith. A lot of people was pressing Will Smith. They were saying, you didn't do this to August. You didn't do this when there was an entanglement. You didn't do this when he was making songs and shit. When he was traveling around talking about the entanglement that he put Jada in. Nobody was saying that you should have smacked him then. You went to the red table. You had a long conversation. Now, there's a lot of people say, hey, look, Will been going through a lot, y'all. He been playing the good guy. He been playing the good guy. He has some pent-up aggression. He came to the rescue of his wife. Tiffany Haddish says, yeah, I appreciate, that man standing up for his family, standing up for his wife. And I would have gave him some. That's what Tiffany Haddish said. I would have gave him some. But I want you guys to really hear the energy, right? Hear the energy of this particular gentleman right here. It is totally different. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, he's white, he don't know. But, let's take it from another point of view. How we act towards one another. Think about the outside point of view of people looking at us. You see what I'm saying? Because it's important. Check this out. Let's listen to some more.
Or whatever, and I make fun of your significant other.
But that's definitely happened in random comedy clubs around the country.
But now this gives a bunch. If again, comics are not happy today about this.
No, they shouldn't be.
And then his speech about being a vessel of love that happened a few minutes later when he wins the Oscar. It's just insane. And then he apologized to everybody but Chris Rock. Yeah. And I understand you're saying he made fun of his wife, but this is beyond the pale.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, beyond the pale. Hit that like button and let's have this conversation. Let's have a tough conversation because there's a lot of hypocrisy going on. Beyond the pale. This is ludicrous. This is something that should not be happening. I don't care what is happening. We should conduct ourselves as men and women. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of people who would disagree with this man's comments. Will Smith deserved to put hands, feet, and paws on Chris Rock for that insensitive joke. Miss Curlin says, it wasn't a comedy club, man. Huh? Even though that these people have been in the limelight, they have been celebrities for over a decade, for some reason now was the time to act. For some reason now in front of the world, Craig, now was the time to put hands, feet, and paws, y'all know what I'm talking about, on Chris Rock. Was it a bad joke? Was it a moment to rise up? Was it Wakanda forever? Or should have Will Smith have known better? We're going to open up the chats because I really want to see what you guys got to say. We got a couple more minutes of this. Come on now, get some people up and hit that like button and let's stop disrespecting me, y'all. Stop disrespecting me. I'm about to Will Smith smack
somebody. I sat there thinking to myself, and I've heard from people who were in the auditorium where they thought it was a gag until he screamed twice, keep your wife's name out of my effing mouth. Mm-hmm. And he won an Oscar. And unfortunately, Questlove, what a moment for him to win the best documentary Oscar that Chris Rock was presenting. You know, and everybody who's seen Summer of Soul, I didn't see a single damn thing for the Oscars pretty much, except for the short documentary Audible about a deaf football high school.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let's stop everything now. Let's stop everything. That is a good question. Will wouldn't have slapped a white man in the face like that. How many people believe that Will Smith is about that life? That Mr. Jiggy, Man in Black himself, would have smacked anybody that would have disrespected his wife that night. Anybody could have got it. Huh? Anybody could have got the smacking, the paws on face, the turn the other cheek smack, the any means necessary smack, the Macarena smack, the Billie Jean Moonwalker smack, the Coco Melon Crip Walk smack on Fifth. How many people believe that? That he would have set it off on anybody that night. It didn't matter. It could have been Puffy, 50 Cent. It could have been Mary J. Blige. How many people, you know what I'm saying? Okay, Pretty Girl. Okay, this is something that I've been hearing a lot of. Pretty Girl Talk to Me says, I love it. LOVE. I finally get to see a black man protecting a black woman on TV. Shaboing boing. That's the shock of it for a lot of people. And you know what? I agree. It is great. It is wonderful to see a man stand up for a woman, especially his woman, someone that he is in a partnership, in a marriage, you know, in a loving relationship. But here is the thing. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Was it worth it to do it on national television, or should have been done behind closed doors? We're going to have this conversation. You guys get ready to hit the panel. I'm about to let you guys hit the panel. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people feel like, Will, he chose him because he didn't think he was going to fight back. He saw Chris Rock as an easy target. He didn't think Chris Rock was about that life. Let's finish this up.
School football team. It's a beautiful short doc. But I'm a fan of Questlove. And for him to win it, nope. Nobody's remembering this. It's because Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. And then during Will Smith's acceptance speech, the Oscars logo pops up several times. And I think it's because one of the Williams sisters was suffering a wardrobe malfunction.
First, I thought, my eyes just went to Serena, and then the logo popped up. I was like, what?
Right. And then Liza Minnelli showed up with Lady Gaga to present the best, picture award. My dad would have been so excited because he was a big Judy Garland and Liza Minnelli and a huge Oscar. He would have been right now wherever he is looking.
Oh, wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
ウィル・スミスにやられました。
Wow, dude. It was a G.I. Jane joke.
G.I. Jane のジョークだったんです。
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. I'm wondering, should I play this other clip, because this is Ben Shapiro, and I think that we all kind of heard, the African American point of view, the Black point of view, the urban point of view, the same nationality and race, point of view. And I wanted to bring another perspective to you guys, because a lot of times we don't get a chance to have a melting pot where everyone comes together. And I think that this is the lovely thing about this platform. We get everybody on this one platform to kind of discuss some things. So I'm gonna move on to the next thing, because I want you to hear what Ben Shapiro says about the situation, or whatever case be, because he said something I thought was very
we have heard from our moral betters, gay. We have heard from our moral betters about ribbons for Ukraine.
Oh my God.
We've heard about from our moral betters about the pay gap as they receive their thousands of dollars in swag. We've heard Mitch McConnell jokes, but all of this led up to Chris Rock making a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, Jada Pinkett Smith has alopecia, which means that she has lost some hair, which means that she cut her hair really close. Apparently, Chris Rock did not know that, and he makes some sort of joke about how she looks like she should star in G.I. Jane 2. Okay, that's pretty light stuff. As someone who gets roasted regularly on the internet, yeah, there are more than a few Ben Shapiro jokes out there, okay, guys? And I find most of them actually pretty funny. And by the way, there are a bunch of jokes out there about my wife, because I'm a public figure. And my wife honestly finds them pretty funny most of the time. But even if we don't find them funny, who cares? That's called being a public figure. And this is like the mildest joke anyone has ever told about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, considering they have an open marriage. And it is well known that Will Smith, let's just say that other dudes and Jada Pinkett has been a thing for a very long time within this marriage, like very publicly so. So this is the mildest joke anyone has ever told about Jada Pinkett Smith. On the list of jokes about Jada Pinkett Smith, this ranks like 1,292. And what's funny about this actually is that, as you will see, after Chris Rock tells this joke, they cut to Will Smith. He's laughing. And then he looks over at Jada Pinkett and she's mad. And then the unthinkable occurs.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
See, he's laughing, and then she's mad. She's mad. You can see she's mad.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard.
And he thinks he's going to come up there and stage something with him.
Oh, wow.
And instead, Will Smith just launches into him and just cracks him across. Other dudes and his wife having sex. He is not fine with someone making a joke about his wife at the Oscars. They've been public figures for about as long as I've been alive. So it was a weird, strange. Now, what was even weirder, and I won't say it's weird because it actually does say something about where we are in the country. A huge number of people on Twitter came out from the left and were defending Will Smith. Because after all, it was a bad joke. It was a mean joke. How dare he tell a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith? She has alopecia. He shouldn't tell that joke. Okay, you might not like the joke. You might think that the joke is bad. We have a general rule in this country that when somebody makes a joke you don't like, you don't get to smack them upside the head. I don't find this particularly shocking, truth be told, that so much of the left is willing to defend this kind of stuff. Because after all, the left has been willing to defend the idea that violence should be the response to quote unquote microaggressions for years and years and years and years. You know, I was on national television on CNN Headline News in like 2013, 2014, and a transgender woman, meaning a biological male, was sitting next to me, and I called him sir, and he threatened me on national TV while putting his hand on the back of my neck. And the rest of us was like, well, you had that coming. Assault is a decent response to you being labeled by your biological sex. Like, this is the way the left thinks now, which is that if I'm offended, I do get to smack you upside the head. The only question is whether he's justified in smacking Chris Rock upside the head. But it was definitely a weird moment. And remember, these are all the people you should listen to. These are the people who, when they chant gay, you should probably let your kids be educated by them. They should set the standards for how you educate your kindergartner. They literally can't keep other men's hands off their wife or their hands off other men who make fun of their wives, but they should definitely educate your kids. Very, very important. This is the crap. By the way, 1 second later, Will Smith won the Oscar for King Richard, and he received a standing ovation from the crowd. This is like within minutes of him smacking a dude upside the head on national TV for telling a joke he didn't like, or a joke he did like, but then didn't like. Because I will say this, for all the whipped men out there, how many, the part where you're laughing at a joke about your spouse and then you look over and your spouse is unhappy and then you realize it, that's happened to a lot of dudes. The part where you get up and smack the dude, that's a different thing. So here is the crowd giving Will Smith a standing O. Wild cheering. Yes. Yes. Get up there and smack somebody, Will.
Oh, wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the link has been dropped. Get this conversation started. There are a lot of people on the fence about the wrong, the right, the moral standards and principles about what Will should have done and what he should have not done. Caucasian people and Black people see this totally different. They see this totally different. You know, there's not a lot of people. Some people are saying, hey, this is a interestingly true perspective. That is very good. That is very good. Let's get some people on this panel. Based on what I just played for you guys, what do you think about that? Why do these white gentlemen see this situation as appalling? Why don't they see it as the honorable thing to do? Let's get some people on here. I just dropped the link in the chat. Feel free, if you have time, to hit the link so that way we can talk about this, because I found it very important. I looked at a couple of YouTubers, especially in the Black sector, and what they said about it, you know, the situation. And I found it interesting that a lot of them, you know, nobody was appalled. Like, I mean, for the most part, nobody was appalled. You know, I think I heard Stephen A. Smith say, you know, hey, what he did was, you know, outrageous and definitely disrespectful to everyone in attendance, including his wife, you know. So I want you guys to find out, you know what I'm saying? I mean, is this when someone tells a joke that you don't like about your family member, is it okay to hit them? Pure Pondering, what's going on? Let's see what Manco had to say. Will Smith is Jada's attack dog. He's a lap dog. Ain't nothing manly about none of that. Then letting dude knock down your wife. Yeah, it's a lot of people who are pointing out that Will should have attacked the other guy. I don't know why his name escapes me right now. August. Yeah, he should have attacked him. Yeah, that's a hard pill to swallow, and then to have to sit at the red table in front of the world and discuss it. You know, that's a hard pill to swallow. You know, and I don't know if I would have been that mature to sit there, you know, and let the world see. I mean, she came out and said, hey, our sex life is not that great. You know, I think they moved. I don't know if that was before or after they moved to an open marriage or whatever case to be. Tanya, what's going on?
Hey, so I think it's my opinion that I think that Will is dealing with a lot of frustration from the years of him being married, and their marriage is an open marriage from what I understand. And it seems that Jada's infidelity seemed to be out on Front Street. And I just feel like he just had enough of everybody. And it wasn't even that bad of a joke. I mean, it wasn't that terrible. She had a baldy, and he was referring to a G.I. Jane, something that, G.I. Jane came out back in 90 something. So I just think it was just his frustration built up, and he just because at first he was laughing. If anybody keep it real, they'll see his face. He was laughing. It looked like Jada was upset and gave him a kind of look, like, how a wifey would look like in distress or whatever. And he didn't like that look. And maybe he had to do something about that. But I don't think what actually happened was like the worst thing in the world.
Okay. So do you feel like what he did was like standing up for black women? Like, do you feel like this was like to show all black, like, you think he was sending a message to the world, or he just wanted to send a message to his wife?
That was a message to the wife. I don't think that had anything to do with the black race, anything for anybody to take up and say, well, yeah, go black power, nothing like that. I don't think that was it. I think it had something to do with them personally, in their personal relationship.
Okay. I get it. Ricky Manor, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Your Wi-Fi sound like it's probably in a bad area or something.
Hold on 1 second. How about now?
Yep, you sound better now. What do you think about all this, man?
It was a big distraction from the world stage.
Got you.
And the reason I say that is because, think about it like this, man. Will Smith felt comfortable to walk up on stage, smack another man, and sit back down, and there is no security.
Right.
No security. That, when he kept, and it was obvious that Will Smith was out of control. How is it that there was no security saying, hey, come with us, settle down, calm yourself?
Right. I found that. You know what? Before I get into my thoughts, let me ask you something. Do you feel like this is signifies black men taking up for black women? Because there was a lot of conversation about that. Tiffany Haddish hit that on the red carpet, and she said this is just like black women should be happy they finally get a chance to see this on TV. Black men taking up for black women. Do you feel like that?
Black women are so goddamn delusional that they would get an insult from a compliment. Let's be real.
Wow.
They're so damn delusional, they'll get an insult from a compliment, and they'll take a compliment as an insult.
Tanya, how you feel about that statement?
Listen, I'm not mad at the brother. Because I understand where he's coming from. I totally get it.
Tanya about to wreck the car trying to...
I was cracking up like, oh my God.
He's about to wreck the car with that statement.
Think about it. It's kind of like,
I get it.
Yeah.
I don't have no argument with you, sir.
I'm not trying to be offensive or anything, but if you look,
I don't take it that way. I don't.
And when we look at the whole mix-up that happened there last night with Chris Rock, the man was cracking jokes. He didn't mean anything by what he did. He was doing his job.
So do you feel like...
I believe that. I believe that as well. I believe Chris Rock is a comedian, and it's not his responsibility to know that she had alopecia. Yes, it's an unfortunate thing, but it's not like it's cancer. The way they're making it look is like a life-threatening. It's not a life-threatening disease.
So his actions represented what to you guys?
We saw two black men get emasculated last night on stage.
Amen.
Okay.
And like he said, what's going on in the world? If you really want to talk about it, it's other bigger. This could be just a distraction because, didn't they pass a law or something like daylight saving time is now going to be legal? It's a lot of stuff going on that we don't know about, or we should have our finger to the pulse on.
Well, black people are the most easiest to distract. If you distract us, then people always want to know. We're the most easiest to distract, and people always want to know what we're thinking. So if you got us distracted, the rest of America's distracted.
We are everything: the entertainment, the sport, everything, literally.
The court gesture, the laughing stock of Western world.
Okay, so let me ask you another question. Do you feel like if another man had disrespected his wife of another race, do you think that Will would have been bold enough to do that?
I'll tell you, if Tony Rock was the host, he wouldn't have did that.
I bet you if that had been Jeff Foxworthy or Larry the Cable Guy, he wouldn't have done that.
Okay.
See, I'm from Jamaica. They have a saying that said "Duppy no for fighting," meaning like he know who to play that game with. He knew who to play that game with. Because I guarantee you, if Tony Rock was the host, it would have been some furniture moving on that stage.
But the funny part is, think about every event that we have. We had the Source Music Awards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whenever we show up at the Grammys, it's always one of us being that stupid on stage. Why is that? Because they use us to be that way. That whole thing was a script written. That was WWE.
Wow, that's another way of looking at it. I think that's true. I believe that because of the laugh, the way he laughed in the beginning, he was laughing at first.
Yeah, I mean, he was laughing. He was laughing. I found that interesting, but I never seen someone that, like I said this in earlier broadcasts. I don't know if he was scared or if he was just that much in shock.
No, I think his wifey gave him that look like, really? Really? You gonna really sit here and laugh? And that's what, you know. You know that sister girl look? How a girl look at her man when she's upset?
I'd have laughed at that bald-headed bitch too, and she'd ask, "Why do you do anything for me?"
I'm done.
Whoa, Ricky Rock, calm down.
If she'd ask, "Why do you do anything?" I'd be like, "You better call August."
Oh, they passed that though, man. People have issues in their relationship. They're past that now, man. Now they're getting awards, you know, they're getting Oscars.
But their relationship is open, so that shouldn't be an issue, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah. I don't know if it was open then, though. I think, from my understanding, it wasn't open. But I could be wrong, though.
The marriage itself is open.
Okay. Well,
so I can smash Jada too?
Right. If it's okay. Right. It's an open marriage. And from what I understand, open relationships, each partner, as long as each partner is okay with it, it goes down.
And that young boy blew her back out, and Will Smith was sitting
You know
around.
What? I'm done.
That young boy blew her back out. Like, oh.
I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like button. So let's go a little bit deeper in this. So do you guys feel?
Hey Mario, I gotta get back to work, man. But I'll be tuning in from the keyboard. I'll be tuning in from the side.
Okay, bro. Okay.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
All right.
I'm about to hang up too.
Okay. I appreciate you coming up.
All right, I'm gonna listen.
All right. So I appreciate everybody jumped on the panel, whatever. I just dropped the link if you guys want to join me in this conversation. Again, I feel like this is one of those things where, you know, kind of like Miss Curlin said, you know, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Or if that was riding dirty, then I apologize. But yeah, I mean, in this situation, I guess it does depend on, you know, what your point of view is, how you see, you know, this man reacting to his wife. You know, needing to react to his wife. You know, I mean, as you guys can see, this guy's walking up on the stage. He assaults this guy and then gradually walks back. This guy don't run after him. He don't jump on his back. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, gets an award, an Oscar award, and then gets a standing ovation. What does that say about America? You know, if it was a black man smacking a white man, do you think that he would have still got an award that night? If it was if the roles were reversed, if it was a white man smacking a black man, do you think it would have been business as usual? You know, what was the black on black assault? Why was that acceptable? Why wasn't Will Smith removed or asked to leave? And I think that's something that we should be looking at. You know, why was that assault? Okay, let me get somebody else in here. DJ Red Page. What's going on, man? Can you hear me?
What up? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's going on? What you think about the situation?
Yeah. I got you playing through my headphones, so it's a little delay. So I don't want it to be I was on it earlier at work. I'm at home now, but I know what you said, but this is what I'm saying. Do you know that Chris Rock was on the Fresh Prince show, right?
Yes, he made him dress up as a girl. Yeah.
And when he was on Fresh Prince, as his chick. So I feel like he felt like he was some type on some hole. He seen some hole in him. Like you're not gonna go pick. I'm not about to go slap nobody that I think that's gonna get with me, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. I totally agree.
And then he also had Jada on the Chris Rock show as well. I don't know if you've seen that, but he had her on her show. This is before the Oscars. Remember he had his show on HBO?
I didn't remember Jada being on there, no.
Yeah, she was on the show, and the whole time he was doing the show with her. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. She was on the show, and the whole view at 5 minutes passed, and then confetti started falling and everything. And he's like, you won, Jada. You won, Jada. And she's like, what did I win? Did I win? He was like, he's like, you won such and such amount of money. Gave her a bottle because you didn't mention Will Smith in your interview. Like he's been picking with him for a minute, but they're friends though. Like that's, I don't know, man. Like as black folks, because you said black folks and the white folks, but as black folks, we pick with people we fuck with though.
Yeah,
we don't talk mess to people we don't really deal with.
I hear you. Do you feel like? Well, before
I don't know. I don't know, man. This is weird, bro. Go ahead.
I was trying to bring the other guests on.
I didn't hear you. What you said?
Shakira? Am I saying that right?
Shakira.
Hello. Turn my mic down.
Hello. What do you think about the situation?
Honestly, at first I thought it was a joke. Until I seen a clip of him like screaming. Then I'm like, is this for real? So here's my thing. Let me first start by saying I do believe that a man and a woman should defend each other, like, a husband and wife. I do believe in that. However, I believe that, there was people talking online on IG last night about defending her honor. Jada has showed time and time again that she doesn't have any honor. When and everybody's up in arms about, oh, well, she has alopecia, right? Alopecia. Let's talk about it for a second. As a person, I have, it's like mild for me. And, people are making alopecia seem as if it's a life-threatening disease or whatever. How can you be so sensitive about somebody making a G.I. Jane joke, but you have no sort of shame or embarrassment or anything about coming on whatever her show is and telling the whole world about your entanglement with another man, or how she has over the years expressed her lust and love for other men and talking about their sex life and stuff like that. So for the people that are on that bandwagon, that's just bull crap to me. Will was a clown, and he really made a fool of himself. And let me just go a step further. As I said in the comment section, if that was a white man, Will would have never done that. The other thing, my next point is,
Will wouldn't have did that shit to. He wouldn't have did that to David Chappelle. He wouldn't have did that to Michael Epps.
No. I'm gonna go there in a second. So he wouldn't have did it to a white man. He wouldn't have did it to. I can name 10 black men that he wouldn't have did that to. He wouldn't have felt safe. Chris Rock was safe for him to do that to. Let's go a step further. we know, look at Kim Kardashian, right? We all know her past or what's been shown publicly, right? Imagine that was Kanye in the audience. And this is where I blame the Oscars. Because if Kanye sat in that audience and somebody said something about Kim, right? Let's just say somebody brought up whatever, something about Kim. And Kanye walked up on stage and slapped somebody, they would have tackled him to the ground and had his ass in a straitjacket.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and I was kind of looking at it slowly, and I was waiting for like a major reaction from the Oscars, from the security, from some. I mean, at some point in time, Chris Rock even looked to the side like, y'all just let this happen? Like, no one's gonna ask him to leave? I mean, can you imagine being smacked on national television and nobody does anything? Nobody comes from anywhere to help you out. Like, that is crazy. And you're expected to continue your job and host the Oscars. That's crazy. Miss Curlin, what's going on? What you think?
Oh, hey guys. If it's not a joke, because I still kind of on the fence about it being a joke or not. So if it's not a joke, I still stand by, hey, we can't tell somebody how to feel. Like, and everybody keep talking about this other life she had. Oh, they know about that stuff. I keep telling everybody there's a lot of people that live like that. Like, it's not new. So he's not sitting there upset about August Alsina. He's upset because he loves his wife and people keep talking shit about her. And at that moment, she looked at him and the look on her face made him get up and do that. Am I saying it's right and everybody should react like that? No. But he reacted like that at that moment, defending his wife. It's not like he was defending a
Can you
chick.
hear me?
Just, yes.
Yeah, we can hear
Hello?
you. We can hear you.
Okay. Like I said earlier, Mario, it's not like he was defending just any girl or they're younger. This is his wife, the mother of his kids, and they've been through a lot. If Will didn't give his permission or his say red table could happen, it would never have happened. It could never happen. That's a business move they're doing with Red Table. And people don't seem to understand that either. But like I said, if it's not a joke, I can't tell him how to respond when somebody's coming at your family. Like, that's your family. That's the only thing on this planet that you should ever like die or fight for is your wife, your kids, I believe. That's just my opinion.
I definitely get what you're saying. What do you think about this comment? Little Bird says, how is this turned to race? Please stop. Do you think this has been turned to race?
Yeah.
Can I chime in? Because since I'm the one who did bring up the race card, because I think it's very valid. I think race is very valid in this situation because, like I said, and I'll stand by that, if that was a white man on stage, the white man could have made a joke that was far more disrespectful and so-called insensitive, and he would not have done what he did. So yes, race is valid. Secondly, the other point that I wanted to make before I got cut off, I had got a call. Does everybody remember a couple weeks ago when him and Jada, or a week ago when him and Jada was on a red carpet and Laverne Cox, the transgender, asked them about the entanglement? Why not slap Laverne Cox? Since we slapping people and we defending her, why not just be an equal opportunist when it comes to slapping people?
Because she's a woman.
Okay, so fair point. Fair point. Do you think
women get slapped all the time?
Not by men. He's not going to slap a female.
No, people pick and choose. and I like the point that I forgot the guy on the panel. Black people pick and choose who they want to attack when they want to attack.
It's not just black people. White people do the same thing.
In the manner that it happened, since we want to talk about white people, would a white man have got up and slapped? Now let's talk about that for a second.
He wouldn't have slapped no white person either.
Let's say
yes, he would have.
let's say that if a white man, okay, let's say, because we know black people can get very, very vile and disgusting when it comes to comedy. So if a black man was on the stage, made the same joke about a white woman, do you really think that and a white man walked up on stage and smacked the black man?
He would just probably never let him work again. If he was higher than the black man, he would just probably hit him in his pocket.
You think
which one is better, the slap in the face or taking your career?
You think he would have slapped Bill Burr?
I don't even know who that is.
Okay. He's a white comedian. He's a white comedian. That's
Listen, if it was a comedy show, then I would be like, what the, you know?
The Oscars, it's a comedy show, though. That's what they do.
No, it's not. Everybody,
for
okay,
the first
is it
part, they
prestigious
always got a
or is
comedian.
it comedy?
Why do they always got a comedian hosting the show then if it's not comedy?
Well, here's the
thing. Because that's all they probably can get because their show is boring as hell, to be totally honest.
Here's the thing.
Comedians do host shows. My bad.
No. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
I'm saying comedians host shows. No, you ain't cutting me off. Comedians host shows, though. I'm like, who else are you going to have do your shows? Like, somebody that's a singer? I've never seen a singer. Yeah. LL Cool J, he's doing comedy, though. Like, even when the singers do it, they do it as a comedy type of thing. Monique, you know what I mean? All that. Like,
they don't take it like it's just an unspoken thing. Like I said, Will and him, they work together. They're close. They probably was friends at some point. I don't know. I don't watch them in anything other than his movies if they're good. But the way he did that, I don't think he was doing that for like whether it was white. It's not a white and black thing. I just saw one man slap another man. That's how I live. I grew up. So one man slapped
understand
another man,
that part, but
family.
as what we go through, like, because the thing about it, what I seen, because what made it a black thing for me is when I seen Jada roll her eyes. I done seen so many like females in the hood, in the neighborhood, be next to a dude, and you can just be so a guy might just try to talk to her, not knowing she got a man, and the girl it wasn't even that serious. The guy just she'll go over there and be like, hype it up, and the dude go over there, something might happen to him. So the woman don't care. They send that dude out on a dummy mission all the time, especially when you doing what she's doing and how she carries herself. Like, I mean, I know that's his wife, not to you, but to me, she does. Because I see,
because we know about her. Will was doing the same stuff too. Will was doing the same exact.
It ain't about. I'm not getting into their relationship, but the way she embarrassed Will Smith on the red table publicly. She should have got up and smacked herself then if she cared, because he felt just as bad as she did when Chris Rock said that right in front of her face. She didn't slap herself.
That's why his kids
slap
are
yourself.
There and he's there.
What you mean her kids are there?
He allows that. He's her man.
It still doesn't mean that's the reason that he slapped him, because he felt unmatched. He doesn't feel like a man after that. Like, he's been dealing with that shit ever since. So it wasn't really about Chris Rock at all. And the thing about the joke, people didn't even get, the joke wasn't even about the fact that she was bald-headed, but it was the fact that Demi Moore played her, and she was cheating on Bruce Willis with Ashton Kutcher. That was the joke that everybody missed, that went over everybody's head. It wasn't about her being bald-headed. Duh.
Do you think?
Well, then it's not a black thing now, is it then?
What the fuck you don't want? You keep saying black and white though, like.
No,
you're the only one doing that.
No, I'm not the only one. I'm looking at comments too. No, I never make anything a black and white. I'm half and half. I mean, I never make a black and white thing.
Let me rewind real quick. The original question, if you guys missed it, so let me do this for you, okay? Because just to take the heat off everybody and put it on me, okay? This was the original statement. Why white and black people see the Chris Rock and Will Smith smack differently. Because based on what I've been researching, this right here. Let me do this real quick for you guys, because I think that's fair. Hold on.
The live broadcast has a 5-second delay in case there's a bad word that's said. So if you're ever watching a sporting event and all of a sudden the sound goes out, it's because somebody's heard a curse word and they dump out of the sound. But I've never seen dumping out of the sound and the video.
They do both for the Academy Awards, Rich.
Well,
they do a video. I mean, obviously now.
Yeah, I get it.
They definitely
but what I'm saying is I've rarely seen this happen. And so when you lose the sound and then the pictures start getting funky, and then one of the shots that you see is Will Smith mouthing the words, and as a sportscaster, you've got to be a professional lip reader, mouthing the words, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth," and then it cuts out as he's saying mouth, and then all of a sudden they take Chris Rock, who's now looking off to the side saying, well, that's the greatest night in the history of television. And I sit there and I'm like, Zan's like, what happened? And I'm like,
I don't know.
I think Will Smith hit Chris Rock.
that was my reaction.
I think he hit him. Bye, Dad. And I'm like, well, he made a joke. And now I got to explain all this stuff, which is the least of anyone's problems. But it's wild. And I just hit Twitter like, what just happened? Will Smith hit Chris Rock on international live television because
I want to get into this part real quick because I don't think that we're grasping, and maybe some of us are, some of us aren't. This dude is appalled. This dude is acting like what Will Smith did is like outrageous. It is just unbecoming.
It was.
No, but I want you guys to understand this. There's a lot of people who don't feel like that. Again, this man went on to winning Oscar and get a standing in the same night. Probably within an hour of him actually striking someone else. So I want to ask you guys, why is it that we as Black people see it differently than other races?
Can I answer that?
Yeah, anybody can answer it.
This is my opinion. I'm gonna just be real. I feel like because every culture has people who are just the bottom of the barrel, but I feel like the Black community is the only community that openly celebrates, uplifts, and defends different behavior, the different culture, so on and so forth.
Shakira, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of catching.
Is she breaking out?
Yeah, I'm catching every other word. If you want to go out and come back in, that'll be cool. But I'm catching every other word, so I don't want you to waste your time.
Okay, so I'll go out and come right back in.
Okay, cool. Anybody else got a point of view? Lovely says, I'm tired.
I just think it's really like who they choose. Like if that was somebody else slapping him, I just think that he's so high up that they just pick and choose. Like if that was Kanye, it'd be even though Kanye up there with as far as the bread, but if it was like a rapper or something, they would have been on his ass. But the fact that it was Will, that I just think they pick and choose who they want to go again. Now Chris Rock is seeming like the bad guy for a joke. He the one got slapped. And he's supposed to talk it out and all this, and these are the role models to these kids. And I grew up watching Will Smith. I'm from PA. I know we slap a motherfucker quick. We I know the shit was real. But I don't know, man. I just think they just pick and choose who can do what they want to do and who can't.
If
it was Cat Williams, what would happen? If Cat Williams slapped Chris Rock, I mean, they would have treated that dude would not have been able to grab his Oscar 30 minutes later. Period.
Don't you think it's also because of his track record of not having any issues like this? Also, you don't give him any.
Assault is assault. Like
okay, so
I don't get that privilege. So that's what I'm saying. I don't get that privilege, but I see how they'll give him that privilege in Hollywood. If I go slap a person on national TV, I'm going to jail. What are you talking about?
If they decide to press charges, or if it's a state that
no. I'm a black man. The police press charges without the person. they'll press charges without the person saying that I'm dead for real. If you get caught shooting a gun on camera and that camera come up 5 months later, nobody pressed charges, but you still getting charges pressed against you.
No, only if you're in a state that will press charges.
I'm in one of them states. I'm in one of them states, so that's what I'm used to.
Okay, well, if you're in one of those states, but also if it's somebody that you know, are you guys used to calling the cops on each other? I mean,
oh no, that's a family situation. But that's how I look at it as a black man. I look at it as them as two brothers, and I done slapped a couple, and my couple didn't slap me. You know, but we'd be best friends the next day. But that's a whole different ball game. They didn't come up together from the same lot. They just happened to meet as men, you know? That was disrespectful. I mean, it ain't no more disrespectful than getting slapped. Like, spit on you and slap you.
It's no more disrespectful than sitting and watching your wife feel like shit.
It's no more disrespectful for your wife to disrespect you like shit either.
But he doesn't feel that way. That's his feeling to feel. If he feels like his wife is nothing, then that's him. But if he feels like his wife is at the top of everything,
no, because I can see
his feeling.
I can see right through that. I can see right
through his feelings.
This is how I see the situation. I think that women who really want one or two things, either women have or never have had. They want a man to be that bold for them. They want that man to stand in that gap for them. Now, there are some women who have had that based on their fathers, based on their siblings, you know, or based on someone that they were dating or married to. They've had a man that was that bold, that brave, that courageous.
I done seen people lose their life for that look, and they go do something. DJ, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I seen that. That's what snapped at me. I said, "Oh, she ghetto as hell at the Oscars." Like you can't take that.
Hold on, pimp. Hold on, pimp. Listen, I get what you're saying. My thing is that there are some women that want to see a man in that role, and when we're talking about black women, they want to see a man in that role and to do something like that. I think the issue now is being in that role. What does that mean? Is there a cutoff point? I think the cutoff point, I'm going to stand up for my woman, but is it by any means necessary? I still think there's a thought process there. It's not for you to lose your head, because here's the thing: if Will just happened to have, let's say he got a gun license and pulled out his gun and pistol whipped Chris Rock on television, would it still been like he's standing up for black women? You know,
that's going a little bit too far.
No, it's
going too far though.
But
slapping him was going too far too.
Slapping him is just like Pure Ponder said. It's like he's not even worth a punch. He slapped them all. A slap. Two men. It's equal now. You talked about his bald-headed wife, and now you slap him.
If he turned around and felt so disrespected and embarrassed, and he killed him, I want you guys to think about this. If he killed Will Smith, would this all be worth it? Would it have been worth it?
That's what happened in the streets. That's Hollywood. It looks different on TV.
Ladies, would it have been worth it? If I say something bad, you put your hands on me and I retaliate because that's what's happening in the streets, would it have been worth it?
No. To me, no, because I have a family member that's dead behind a Jezebel, just like Jada. So no, I don't think it would be worth it. No.
High five.
I think so, Carlos Rodriguez. I think we are. We're saying that, you know, a physical assault is equivalent to someone speaking words, because we're in the process of protecting the one that we love. And I just think that if we go with that narrative, I think that there's going to be a lot of people who take that narrative and get hurt. You know what I mean? If you smack me, I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to stand here and laugh and giggle and say, oh, wow.
Finish the show, huh?
I think it's going to be, show over. The show would have been canceled for that year. I'm just saying. So I think there's a lot of people who say, yeah, I love to see a black man standing up for his woman. But in the sense of that is that black man could have been going to jail that night. Let's just be realistic. He could have been going to jail, especially if you got it recorded. Everybody had seen it. There was no reason for him to stroll back to his seat and sit down. That does not happen regularly. That does not happen regularly. So I think that's something we need to explore.
Well, I think they said Chris Rock didn't want to press charges. I mean,
well, he wasn't even escorted out though. Even if he wanted to press charges,
that's the next day.
He was getting ready for another movie and shit. Like he just ordered some popcorn and some shit. He had a bathroom break and came back.
But to you, does that look like a crazy man? That's just like, to me, I just think that he's at a point where, like, man, I done seen pictures with Jada with Tupac, Biggie, Eazy-E. They be killing him with the Pac. He can never be as hard as Pac. I mean, he just had to do something. It's like if my woman went overboard on the cruise and we about to get married and I didn't jump off the boat to go get her, she ain't gonna marry me. Like, he had to do something. I probably went off the board, but I'm just saying, like, he had to show her something. Because if he would have went to jail, she would have called Augustine up anyways for the night. Like, y'all not even thinking, like, I'm not doing that for nothing like that.
DJ being paid. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't think it's about her life in Hollywood. You know, her life in Hollywood is her life in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? We just happen to know a lot of information about it, but I don't think that should be held against her. I think that we're talking about that night at that.
I'm not holding it against her, but as a man, real man,
holding it against
as
her.
A real man, you're gonna. If that was mine, I would be. Boy, I don't know what to do. He's really trying, but I think this is the beginning of the end for that. Watch later, because I think that he's really losing control. I've lost control over female. I know what it's like, not on being rich and famous and stuff, but yeah, he's
your wife?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I still acted a donkey. Okay.
Carlos Rodriguez, I hear you. I like what let me see this next comment. I think that was a good one too. I really think that if he really would have walked up on him and say, "Yo, Chris, keep my wife's name out your mouth, man. I'm not playing. That's not a joke. Stop it." I think that would have just sent
had the same effect.
An alarming, like through the whole, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? I just think that him doing that, you know, again, I don't know what happened prior to them leading up. She could have been sitting in the bathroom crying, pleading to him, I really don't want to go, and he convinced her to go. It'll be okay. And then, oh boy, does that.
Nah, bro.
I don't know. But
pieces, everybody, all these chicks out here losing their edges and stuff, man. Nobody, that ain't no they're trying to make that seem like it's cancer. My man lost his hair the other day for the same stuff. He ain't nobody slapping him on his behalf. That's not no.
Because he's a man. Women usually are judged by their looks. Yeah, guys, come on. And their hair.
Jada always rocked the short hair though. She always rocked the short hair.
It's different from being bald.
So
I had cancer, so I know. It's totally different from. And I'm not saying her alopecia is equal to my cancer, but at first I didn't know that I was young. I didn't know when my hair was falling out what was happening. I didn't know. I didn't know what was happening. So I know that I wore turbans for a long time, but not everybody is like that. You understand? Like, that hurts her. She had the choice to grow her hair or wear it short. She chose short. Doesn't mean she chooses.
She could have wear a wig though. Like, they all wearing fake hair anyways. Like,
maybe she doesn't want to wear wigs.
Thank you for the donation, Carlos. I appreciate that. It is a good conversation. Can
I ask this question then? So since there's so much about the hair talk and, you know, and that, so basically, and I could be looking at this wrong. It seems to me, because that's been a common theme for the last about 24 hours since this incident happened. It sounds to me like I don't think it's anything more shameful. Like, how can you not be embarrassed or not have no reservations about the things that they both have put out publicly, mainly her, about your marriage, about your husband, your sex life, and you just have no reservations, nothing. That's just perfectly okay. But when it comes to something as shallow as hair, you know, all of a sudden there's some need to defend her. I just, to me,
it wasn't about her. It wasn't about that. I don't believe.
I still don't think the joke was about hair again.
No, okay. See, I'm
not talking about hair. I'm mean his perception about that. Sorry.
I'm engaged in a conversation. I believe, and I believe I said that in the comment section before I jumped on the panel, that to me it was deeper than that, because when you really look at, you examine like G.I. Jane and the whole thing, you know, I think it's a lot of people didn't really look that deep into it, and they kept mentioning hair. So I'm saying if hair is what, you know, because she's sensitive and she might have been crying in the bathroom and she didn't want to go because she's so sensitive about her hair, how can, you know, one be so sensitive and you know, and that bother you so much, but all of the other stuff that is put out, like you can go on TV and just talk about that like it's no tomorrow. And that's not shameful. That's not something you should, you know, and then you have kids. I don't know.
I think a good question was salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. I just dropped the link. If you guys want to join the conversation, feel free to hit the link. I really feel like, you know, again, it's based on your point of view and how you see it. There's a lot of women who see this very differently, depending on their race and their nationality and their creed. I just feel like that. And as I went around YouTube and kind of searched different people, you know, I noticed that there were certain people that were on one side of the fence and certain people that was way on the other side or whatever. A lot of people feel like, hey, this was a black man standing up for a black woman, and whatever came with it, came with it. And then there's a lot of people who feel like, hey, you know, yeah, but, you know, however, comma. So I feel like, you know, I just really wanted to explore this a little bit more. I think we did a great job of breaking this down, but I don't think we got into how other races see this particular situation. You got to think about it. Will Smith is not just a popular black actor. He's a popular actor for America. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So when he speaks or when he does something, you know, of course he's a black man, but we look at him as a great actor. So when he does something, he represents not just black men, but he represents actors across the board for America. So this is something that was being promoted in other countries. So of course the conversation is going to be a little bit different. That's why I wanted to go a little bit different into the conversation in regards to saying, you know, why do our counterparts based on race see this differently than we see it?
Can I answer? Can I jump in?
Go ahead.
Oh, we're talking about, again, why do other races? Let me put it this way, being on both sides of the fence. Okay, I totally get what everybody's saying about a black man defending her honor because of all the things lately that's been going around about, you know, black women not feeling supported by their black men, black women not feeling this and that. And then he does it and they still don't. But anyway, you know, that's what's been going around. Now, everybody's also saying about Jada, and I'm going to compare her to a white person who did the same thing. And let me see. Everybody's complaining about Jada that she has this red table talk, which is really like what they do, what you do in therapy, but really people were talking about them, so they just brought it to the forefront. Now, if anybody remembers, in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, Madonna, who is very famous, she also did the same thing by just telling everything she does. That way nobody can really go behind the scene, and it's a PR stunt. Go behind her and bring up anything. She chose to say, yep, I'm bi. Yep, I'm with a whole bunch of gay people. Yep, I'm this. Yes, I do this and that, and all the stuff that she told everybody, and nobody said anything. Nobody's appalled. Nobody says anything. That was the 80s and 90s, where everybody, homosexuality was wrong to everybody. All the stuff she was talking about was just all the chains, all that stuff was wrong in certain people's eyes. But nobody said anything. But then a black woman comes out on a red table talk that her husband, Madonna didn't have a husband at the time, Sean Penn and her weren't married, that her husband of 20-something years and her kids, they already went through this counseling, I believe. And then now they're having like a counseling around a table because they already faced those things, and now they can tell it. So the public knows, hey, we know you're saying this, so let us explain this. People just aren't getting it. I don't watch Red Table Talk. I've seen a couple snippets, but I don't watch it because I don't care. But, you know, that's how I feel that they're doing. It's a PR move, and a good one, because look at how big it blew up. I mean, Hollywood is different from regular people. We're not talking about our next door neighbor John hitting Milton. You know, we're talking about Will Smith and Chris Rock in that world. Different.
Miss Shakira, what do you feel about what Miss Curlin just said?
I think, and I was trying to say this before I cut off. I think the reason why, you know, it's looked at different, you know, depending on, you know, between black and white people, I think because, you know, every culture, every race has degenerate and, you know, dysfunction. I say that to say, in black culture and the black race is the only culture and race of people that are uplifted and are that celebrate and defend degenerate and dysfunctional behavior.
You cut off. You still there?
No. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. DJ, what you think, man?
Oh man. I don't know what the other people is saying about it. I don't know what the other races is really saying about it to even like I know what I see it out as my eyes. It's two homeboys. He took it to the white. When Will Smith screamed, it seemed like he got into an acting mode to me. I mean, but that's his voice, so I've always seen him on movies, so like it kind of threw me off. But like he had to say it twice. The second time I could, I kind of felt it, but I don't know, man. I just think I don't know, man. I think they cool, like, you know, because Chris Rock, like, Will didn't even drop him, you know, like to a knee or nothing. Like, I don't think it hurt. It probably only stung for like 10 seconds, you know. So he ain't tripping about it. I think that's what I look at it, because he can get paid, but he paid. Like, what is the? And then
I think the Oscars will deal with it if it's a business move. They'll deal with it business way because it was universally, you know, played across the world. But so if the Oscars feel like they're going to lose something from it, that's when they'll punish Will. But other than that, if everybody, you know, is like copacetic and move on about it and get it washed away real quick, he comes out with an apology, whatever they do to whatever PR move they make, it'll be pushed away. If not, if it's going to hurt the Oscars, then they'll punish him. It's going to be a business move. That's it.
I'm thinking about though, how did that slap hurt Chris Rock pockets?
How?
I don't know. Like, is he gonna get roles now, or like?
No, I think he took it like a man. I think Chris Rock is fine. He didn't do anything. I mean, he was on a man's wife. Yes, he didn't like it. He acted on how he felt about his family. That doesn't mean I like Chris Rock any less. I love his jokes. I love Chris Rock, you know, and I like Will Smith movies when they're good. And that's it. Like, I don't think that it's going to affect any of them. They both have a lot of money. They could go to jail for 2 days and bond out if they have 48 hours stay for hitting him.
It look like bullying to me, man, period. It looks like bullying.
Who is being bullied? Who's being bullied, you think?
Chris Rock get bullied. Who do you think get bullied?
Chris Rock just got like a Rick James slap, okay?
On national TV. On national TV, though. Like, it'd have been different if somebody caught it with a camera. This is live on TV. Nobody has got smacked at a, like, and they kept it rolling. They even shut it off when the search rolls. They shut the shit off, and you hear about it. They let it play, let him say what he said, and then made him keep. Man, that shit is embarrassing.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth though, because people do so much spontaneous stuff. They probably thought Will never in a million years would be doing that. So they was gonna let it roll.
Nobody did. That's what surprised the world. He shocked the world. He's Muhammad Ali, man.
I agree with Carlos too. Like I keep saying that the Oscars, they've been dropping their ratings for years and years now. I swear I only saw like 30 people in the audience, but something like this, that's the only reason like a lot of people even knew the Oscars. Who knew the Oscars were on?
We still didn't even watch the Oscars. We just watched that one clip still.
Exactly. I don't even know what the award Oscars give out. I don't even know what they give. Like, I just don't watch it. And it surprised me because Will and Jada boycotted it for so many years because of black people, how they treated black people. So I don't really
but
think
then they go up there and act a donkey though. See, that's the point though. They did that for black people, and then they go up there and act like the two blackest people in the motherfucker.
If that was Jay-Z and Beyonce,
that's
in the front
crazy.
Row, would they have said? Would they have been rude to Beyonce? Would they have said a rude joke that would have offended Beyonce? And if she looked like that, you think Jay-Z wouldn't have got up and done something? You think he would have sat there just like his wife?
If Jada wasn't,
I'm asking a question though. I'm asking a question. Because a man loves his wife. That's his love for his wife. That's not our love for her. That's his love. So, therefore, if that was Jay-Z and Beyonce sitting there, and then something rude was said, and they got up, Jay-Z got up and slapped the shit out of him, whoever comedian was up there, black, white, say it's not Chris Rock, what would people be saying?
It would have never happened because Beyonce ain't putting her shit out there like Jada. Period. That's all I'm saying. That's the difference.
It doesn't matter if a comedian is rude. Say it wasn't about what they put out there about her. Everybody keeps talking about her past. Like
yes, it was. If nothing was said and he said that joke, that wouldn't have happened. If they dealing with relationship drama in front of the world to see. If you can't see that,
I don't think so.
The last time Will been on TV, he cried the last couple times.
Will has always been crying since they found out they make money off it for the past year. Will has been crying. His eyes are even set to tears right now. Like they just look like it's like Visine in the bottom.
Let me ask just
that. I'm sorry, but he just looks that way.
Let me ask y'all a more serious question. Do you think that Will Smith should be banned from the Oscars?
I don't know if I will go that far. Honestly, I think he's okay. I think he'll be fine. You know, he's Hollywood's token black man. They always need their token black man. So, yeah, it'll be water under the bridge.
So nobody on this panel right now in the chat thinks Will Smith should be banned from the Oscars.
I think that's the Oscars' decision to make. I don't care.
I don't really
he made the Oscars better, I think, because now they're gonna have better security.
Now Chris Brown will have a monologue for a year. Like I
don't think Chris Rock gonna do it next year. Period. I don't think he will.
I don't even think he'll make it next year.
Hey! Look at this comment right here.
Yes, he should be banned.
Hey, he definitely got an iron chin. He got an iron chin of Solomon.
Yeah, man. That's why I thought it was so fake, because when he got hit, he didn't even stumble.
Yeah. It looked like he was bracing himself.
Didn't move.
I seen it. I think
it's acting.
Nah,
I still think it's acting.
I seen it in slow motion because that's a room full of actors, but nah, I think Will is losing.
I still think it's fake.
I don't think it's fake.
I'm on the line with that.
I'm on the line too, y'all. I'm on the line.
I really don't believe anything that I really see from when it comes to like Hollywood or online stuff. I don't believe that it's real. The majority of it, especially when it comes to like D movie actors or A-list actors, and a bunch of them in one place at one time. I just don't believe a lot of what we see. They make.
But would you think Will would act the part where say keep my name out my wife's mouth like that?
Well, when he screamed, he kind of, like you said, he kind of sounded like his movies, like you know.
Yeah, but that's the only voice we heard.
Like, I don't know if that's his mad voice or because it sounded like his acting. Every voice when he screams in acting. So I don't know, like, and I don't really care, but I'm just saying, like, for the point of where if you're saying how black and whites judge it differently, it would just be blacks are going to look at it like, well, he's standing up for his woman because we have a different plight than white people. And then white people are going to look at it from the business aspect, like, well, he fucked up this. What are we going to get this? Or all it is about ratings and money. And their ratings probably went up. They probably not be too mad, but they're going to have to try to do something to make him come out and apologize or something. You know, like how they do. Like, it's just what they do.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with the people that think that it could be a publicity stunt. Because while I do have my opinion about it, if it's actually real, I can say that I would not, I still, to me, it was just weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like I didn't know how to feel. I was like, wait, is it real? Is it not? And then with Hollywood, you don't know. You just don't know. I mean,
that's how I felt.
It's going to be talked about for years to come, just like the Janet Jackson Super Bowl nipple slip, just like the infamous Whitney Houston BET Awards acceptance speech. So that's to be considered too.
You think?
I just feel like it's a stunt.
Carlos, thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm kind of like 50-50 with it.
Shakira, let me say this real quick. Do you guys think that in the future other people are going to try the same stunt? Try to confront people at the Oscars or
No.
Yeah, it's going to be more slapping.
You don't think it's going to encourage other people to do it?
No, because there's been fighting behind the scenes with white people for years. They just don't talk about it.
No, not just white people.
I think about it as far as comedians. I'm talking as far as comedians.
I don't know. I think I don't know about that because I don't see the Oscars moving forward like letting stuff go down like that.
They have no choice. They're about to get kicked off. Have you seen their rating?
No, I think I've watched the Oscars one time in my whole
when
life.
I was forced to when I was like 2.
I was maybe 13, 14.
See?
So no, I don't know because to be honest with you, I didn't even see the actual show. I just happened to be on my phone.
Right.
And I'm like, wait. He slapped what? I
think we're kind of overlooking some things. If you guys don't think that this is going to influence other people so that way they can go viral and people can talk about them, whether they got a book coming out, a song coming out, a new movie coming out, whatever, you think that they won't now say, well, going up on a live television syndicated network while they're live and me jumping up on stage and doing something, you think this is not going to influence other people to do it?
Anything
if they want to get their ass beat.
I just don't see the Oscars allowing it.
Yeah, exactly. Me either.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, what happened, and but trust me, they're behind the scenes because they know, they know the potential for this to be something that now people, I got an issue with this person, I got an issue with that person, and if you look, there's been all this talk about diversifying the Oscars and stuff. So if you think they're gonna have black people in attendance and people being able to run up on stage and slap people, I don't know. It's possible, but I don't know. I think there's gonna be a lot of security next year.
I don't think it's an Oscars thing. I think this is across the board. Anything that is being publicized on a national stage. It doesn't just have to be this. It could be any shit. It could be the Country Music Awards. The thing about it is, if you think that this doesn't encourage other people to say, this is how I get my claim to fame, my 5 minutes of fame, I think it will incite other people. Hell, here on YouTube,
I understand where you coming from now, because at first I misunderstood where you was going. Now let me say,
thank you, Carlos.
Will this type of stuff go down on the Oscars moving forward? I doubt it. But will it embolden other people at other shows to do this same type of thing? Yes, I do.
I think staged, maybe. I think they would stage it, though. Like, YouTubers are probably going to... Well, they staged everything. They're probably going to start staging, things like this at award shows and, stupid things. But I'm pretty sure security will be tighter now and less black people at certain things. It doesn't matter. Like I said, if the rating, it's all about a money thing for white people. Black people look at it different. White people look at it as a money thing in Hollywood. Like, as if it's good, this is how it is. If they need punishment, he's gonna apologize, move on. If other people decide to follow that dumb shit because that man was in his feelings, then they're gonna end up getting their ass beat or go to jail. Excuse my language. So if they choose to take a learning lesson from it, like how we're discussing it and saying, well, this is why he felt this way. The action may have been wrong, but the intent that he wanted to relay was right. But the action he took, may not have been the way we would have done it. But that's how he did at that time. It's over. He can't change it. All he can do is learn from that and move on.
Miss Curlin, I definitely can agree with exactly what you just said. The purpose of it, the intentions were good, but the actions, is what's up for grabs. Now, if you're that man and you're that woman in that particular situation, yes, hey, that's my man. I ride with my man. That's my wife, etc. But for the outsiders looking and the spectators like you and I, we only can imagine what we would have done in that particular situation. That worked. That smack could have been followed up with another smack. He could have snapped his finger or Leonidas kicked his ass on the stage. So it could have been
a
worse.
300 kick.
It could have definitely been worse. I'm just glad that I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Let's do this real quick because I think we focus a lot on Jada and we focus a lot on Will. But let's do this real quick. Let's focus on this guy. I'm curious. What you think? Honestly, what you think was going through this guy's head that he didn't fight back?
Stars. He slapped him so hard. His face was
He's seen that big light. You get hit so hard, you see a light and shit.
Yes.
Motherfucker. How long has it been since he's been slapped though? Like
since he was cheating on his wife, probably. I don't know. I don't know.
That boy's.
Thank you very much.
Yo,
thank you very much.
Yo, he seen that white light, bro. He seen that white light,
I know.
And then he couldn't. He was trying to get it together, man. He probably was out for a good 4 seconds, bro. On his feet.
About a nomination.
He said, "We about to give out a documentary." He said, "We about to give out a documentary."
All jokes aside, though, let's really look at this. Do you think that Chris Rock showed to be more of a man than Will Smith by not hitting him back?
Nah, because he got slapped. You can never be more the man if you get slapped. Can't be more the man if you got slapped. It don't even sound right.
I think Chris Brown's still wondering what happened.
Violence, though.
I don't think he realized what was happening. If it was real,
man. You would never in a million years. Nobody knew Will. When you seen Will walking up on the stage, you probably, if you seen it live, you didn't think that. I thought he was gonna go up there and hug him or do a joke or some shit, like That's probably the same thing Chris Rock thought.
Yep, still thinking.
It's 385. Who just apologized?
I was like, wait, hold it. I was like, he really, because I had to, like, look at it.
Who just apologized?
Yeah.
I don't know. He said somebody apologized. I don't know what would the apology be?
No, Chris Rock just apologized. I've seen that.
Slapping the shit out of you.
Chris Rock just apologized. Chris Rock just apologized.
I don't know who should be the first to apologize though. Should it be
Chris Rock?
He already did.
He didn't.
I seen it. No, I'm talking about Chris Rock apologized.
He wouldn't have meant it. He wouldn't have meant it if he did at that time. What's an apology if you don't mean it?
Chris Rock apologized.
I know, but we're saying Will Smith apologized to everybody else on stage except Chris. And I said he wouldn't have meant it. He wouldn't have meant it.
He was still in his fuck Chris mode. He still was in his fuck Chris mode.
What did he apologize for? The joke?
Yeah, he apologized to Jada and Will and their family and the joke too. I don't know if it was real, but I seen it right before I came on.
Oh, okay.
But it was.
I gotta check that out. I didn't know he apologized, and that's interesting.
No, it just happened like maybe like an hour ago.
I think that Chris Rock understands that Will probably has the power to get him canceled in Hollywood.
Oh Lord!
No,
I think he feels bad.
You don't think
I think he feels bad. No,
he can't get canceled. He's a stand-up comedian. He can book his own shows.
I don't know.
He has a company with Adam Sandler too. They make movies.
Okay. Good point.
Well, you know what? On second thought, if I'm Chris, I'm not apologizing, but I understand why he would do it. But I'm glad that was Chris and not me on that stage because
I think Chris understands what he's going through with his
exactly
wife,
after he understands. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you really think about the
G.I. After throwing the hands, then I would apologize.
They're cool, yeah. They don't handle it that way. They're cool. They're gonna have a beer or a shot together.
Like I said, Will knew who he been playing bad boy too long. He treated him like he was playing bad boy on the bad boy role.
No, Jada gonna get some wigs. They're gonna all be happy. Make more money.
Jada ain't gonna make no money. She gonna be sitting at home.
Oh, the Red Table. Red Table, it's gone Universal now. They got British Red Table.
She can't get no movies.
Table.
I'm gonna tell you what'd be even hyper if she invites Chris Rock to the Red Table.
Watch it happen. Watch it happen. Or he'll go on one of the other red tables.
Gonna go viral.
Chris Rock is not going on.
He would.
He will.
That's probably what she'll get another apology.
Hell no.
I still want to know who his dentist is. Dude, stop smoking. Put your phone on mute. Put your mic on mute.
DJ Ray, you over there dying, bro? Just say no.
Yeah, that's what I do, bro.
Just say no, bro. Just say no. Hey, I appreciate everybody hit the Cash App. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
What would you have done if you was on the stage and he
beat his ass?
I probably would have cried.
Really? I was like,
Mario would have dropped to his knees.
I don't know what I would have did, bro.
Hey,
fight the air like Cuba Gooding.
Everybody, this is for everybody. I want y'all to listen. You know how you be trying to hold it before you got to go to the bathroom. You like, okay, I could just hold it for 5 seconds. Suppose you would have smacked the pee out of him. Like you would have pee on himself. I don't know.
Bro,
I think I would have been shocked. But
Jesus.
When he sat down and said what he said, when he talking about keep my wife's name, I think I'd have walked down them steps. Like I'd have walked down there because I would have realized what was going on. Because
Chris didn't know he was acting.
He's shocked right now. He's shocked right now.
He didn't know. He did not know.
He sat down and he realized, okay, this is the greatest show on earth for tonight, whatever. I'd have been walking down the stairs.
No, he couldn't really walk down there because his face was still stinking. Left side of his brain was not working. He
couldn't even see Mario. He could not even see. One eye got slapped into the other. Rewind it and look at it.
I would have fell. Look! I'd have fell on my back and slid all the way behind the curtains. Y'all would not see me no more. That floor looked real slick too. I'd have been.
Somebody would have got an ass whooping, but a tear would have dropped out of my eyes. It looked like.
Yo, what's the name that said? What's your name? You said you would have slid under the car. What's your name?
Slid right into the curb. Next time y'all see me, I have brace neck on in the wheelchair. Fuck out of here.
Now that's a black boy. Where's Ricky Man at?
I would own 16 Waffle Houses in the Texas area.
What you gonna own 16 Waffle Houses?
Yeah, I would own 16. If he'd have smacked me, I'd say, "Oh, that's 16 Waffle Houses." For real.
Them up.
I don't know if I could stand there and still hold. I would have just sat down and cried. I'd have said, "You know what,
bro? I be DJing, right? A motherfucker threw a drink towards my way. I shut the whole party down, man. I'm like, nope, you don't do none of that.
It's only gonna get worse. Drinks of all.
Did he walk up there? Look how he walked away.
He fixed his coat. And he put his back into it though. It's hard, man. It's hard to slap somebody in them shoes. I'm trying to tell you, because you slip, y'all don't know, man.
What?
Well, when they do shows like that, you put grips underneath your shoes. So you take these plastic grips that we do when you do fashion shows.
Oh,
stuff,
so
you
he
put
had. So you
shoes.
telling me Will put on his fighting dress shoes? He knew what was it.
Everybody, when you go to the show, so you don't slip on the stage and stuff like that, you put those. They're clear. You just stick them on the bottom of your shoes so they don't keep falling.
He
or
probably had extra
heels.
foam in his shoes.
How do you as Chris Rock approach a female now? Like when you approach a female, what do you say to her? Like
hello, how are you?
Nah, hell no.
No, you gotta listen. You gotta call her the B word.
You tell us, how do you approach a female, Mario? What do you say? Hey,
I would have just sent her 3 drinks and came after that. Hopefully she don't recognize me.
Oh, you got good stuffy first, right?
I would have sent her 3 drinks. Hey. She's busy by the time I get over there. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I would have seen you. I would have seen you buy them 2 drinks and run over there right before the 3rd.
That'd have been hilarious.
So you don't have to buy no more.
Hollywood is crazy, man. It's crazy. He leaned into
can I say something else about this? You know how everybody talking about this split relation. Let's take this conversation to a little bit different turn here, because that everybody keeps like saying what Jada did, to cheat on him. But the dude was in their house. Like, they know this. They live that lifestyle. They don't have a marriage. They just look at themselves like, I view life like this too. So I know when I'm saying this. So if your husband or that man, you got separated and you may still live together and you both dating, you're not in a relationship at that time. What?
No, I said thank you, Shakira. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Oh, yeah. I don't see the people as well. I know I'm not in a relationship at that time. So it doesn't matter. 20 years, 15 years. If you choose to live that lifestyle, that's that lifestyle. And we as a couple have an agreement. So therefore, if just like they do, if I would see a girl and say, you might like her, I would say, well, you talk to her and then introduce her. That's that lifestyle. People who live that lifestyle is in that. Then if somebody goes and talks about it, that's how it gets out. But usually you're not trying to bring all that. Look when Will was dating that white woman. Like, it wasn't a big deal.
So you think this is, I got a question for you. So you think this has happened just because of a joke that really wasn't about hair?
No, not at all.
It was a joke about her sex life, really, for real.
No, I'm not taking it that far. I just see it as the green outfit.
No, because Demi Moore played G.I. Jane, and she was at the same time at the Oscars. He said the same shit. He had a joke about it.
DJ, let me put you on the screen so you can halfway see my look, bro. I don't think he processed it that fast. When he said that joke, I don't think it was about what Demi Moore did. I think it was
that
about
was an ad lib,
feeling a certain type of way.
No, because he made. I think. Listen, I really studied comedy, and he had jokes for Bruce Willis and Demi Moore at that show about G.I. Jane. Like, I really be on that shit. Like,
I believe you. I've seen in the comments that it wasn't the first time.
And then like I said, at the time, it was Demi Moore was doing that Ashton Kutcher leaving Bruce Willis at the same time. That was how long ago was that movie? Why would it have to be that? Like, same joint, like that was a shot to me. It was a shot to the green dress.
It was the gift of the boy. Come on, y'all.
Man, that was a brilliant joke. I don't give a damn what nobody says. People mad at the joke. I love that joke. I die.
I'm not mad at the joke. I think any other, and if Will Smith was beyond this situation that was going on, he wouldn't have reacted that way. I think it was just,
So you saying Will Smith is not over the red table? That's all I'm saying. By what he did shows me that he's not over that red table. That had nothing to do with that joke, man.
Red table. I don't think it was.
He should have threw that motherfucker over. He should have threw that red table like.
I know he's been crying since then, but before that, but I don't think it was that. I just think if he was past all this and these emotional shit, because I think he's kind of supporting his wife now. It may look like he's the one breaking down, but I think I'm not okay, y'all.
She been
Jada has
down.
some issues, okay? And I think
Really?
Jada has some issues, but not gonna like put her down because of her issues. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't do that. But I think I didn't want to go into this part of it, but I think Jada has issues that needs to be dealt with counseling. Like that's the counseling in the beginning. Bless you, because I felt
kids
like
was trying to get a divorce from them. Remember that?
Emancipated, they don't have. They're old enough. Gosh.
Yeah, but before they tried to.
Let me get him the hell out of here. Get him the hell out of here. Talking that crazy shit. Talking about his kids trying to get a divorce from him.
That was when they were younger. They talk about
they did. That's facts.
I mean, really,
that's
come on.
Facts,
that was the press pushing that. They get to do whatever they want. Why do they need to be emancipated? I mean, not anything they want. Because I kind of raise my kids the same way. I think he raised his kids like how you raise them in Europe. Like we raise our kids different. So therefore, my kids, they know not.
Bro, they really did. They really tried to do that, bro.
Well, okay, but they probably because of the press pushing shit.
I'm talking to Tough Love because he thought I was capping.
Oh no,
I'm saying they allowed their kids to do anything they wanted. They never stifled them.
I know they went to court to get emancipated from their parents. It's not called a divorce though.
Emancipated.
It was a joke like Chris Rock though. You got it.
You said they got a divorce.
Gosh, see?
I said the kids wanted to get a divorce from their parents.
I hear you. They wanted the independence or whatever. So I know. I'm messing with you. Hey, listen, I'm about to get out here myself. I want to give you guys a chance. So I'm gonna put you on when I put you on the big screen, that's your final words. If you have a channel or anything that you want to say in your final words, feel free to do that. And I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I gotta go give me some food. So I'm gonna start off with the man of the hour right now, Mr. DJ himself. So anything
Man, no, y'all just keep doing your thing, Tough Love. I'll be. My eyes is open. I watch. This is the first time I ever got on a stream. I didn't even know you could do it from your phone. So I don't have no channel or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here DJing. You know what I mean? That's what I do. That's me. I'm out DJ Red Page.
That's what's up, man. Salute, man. I appreciate you hopping on, man, and giving me your perspective. Thank you very much.
Yep.
All right, brother. Miss Curlin, you up next.
I don't really have much to say. Just, good conversation as usual. Great topic. I just know everything will work out fine. And that's that.
That's what's up. I always appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Shakira. It's your go.
I don't have anything really to add. It was a good time, great discussion, great panel, laughs. And I still like Will. Jada, I just want them to stop talking about their personal life. That's all.
No doubt. I hear you. You have any are you a content creator or you just kind of rock out where you go?
Oh no. I don't create content. Most of the time when I'm on your panel, when I'm listening, I just listen in. I'm a bush watcher,
Well, I appreciate you coming out the bushes, you know what I'm saying? Brushing the dirt off your shoulders, I appreciate it.
Have a good evening.
You too. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen.
2,000 years later.
My thought process is I'm about to piss somebody off.
Whereas I'm not going to piss off anybody. I'm just going to say this real quick. I realize that a lot of times when things happen, sometimes it's hard for us to call it down the middle, and as much as we like to stand on one side and the other side or whatever, it's always for me about the side of right. And there's a lot of phenomenal Black people, white people, and people of all races and nationalities. And I think that this is a clear case of, what's right. You know, to me, it's not really about him being black. It's not about her being black, and et cetera, et cetera. It's just about what's right. You know what I'm saying? I feel like men should take care of their women, regardless of their color, race, nationality, or creed. And men should also be respected amongst each other. That means treat each other with respect, how they want to be respected. So I definitely appreciate any man that stands up for his family and for himself. My thought process is that I feel like we should do it to the point where we can go back home. It is not worth your freedom. It is not worth your life. You know, we can do things smarter. And I think by having these conversations, getting people's different perspectives based on their life experience, their institutional knowledge, their common sense, their street sense, we all come together and give solutions. And I think whether you know it or not, we provided solutions. We said, hey, yeah, stand up. You know, men should protect women. Bottom line, no questions asked. Women should respect men and vice versa. But we should do it in a fashion where we can go home later that night. We can be free of jail. We can be free of the hospital and free of the cemetery. So think. That's really what this is about. It's about us thinking. It's about us taking the time to love and appreciate one another and to teach each other what we've learned. I really appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you very much for coming through, for applying your time, your energy to just listen to this broadcast. I know you could be anywhere, but you're here. And a lot of you guys are a great asset to this channel. We're growing forever, meticulously and positively. So I really appreciate you guys for not wasting your time and mine. Our conversations are going to get better. As you can see, it's pretty lengthy because we have a couple people on the panel, but I appreciate you guys joining and just listening. Thank you guys for all the super chats. I really appreciate you all. You represent yourselves and this Tough Love channel immaculately. And I really appreciate that. You know, it's something to be proud of. When we get together, I think that everybody has a sense of respect. And I appreciate it. I'm humbled. I'm humbled, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? So all are welcome. You know, all are welcome. You know, this is a place where we're going to have the tough conversation. We're going to learn how to promote positive solutions. And better yet, we're going to learn how to heal. We've all been through crazy shit. We're all probably going through something right now we're not too fond of, not too happy about. But sometimes hearing somebody else's solution may be a testimony for us. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, adult up. Peace.